Hello, everyone. We're doing well. I'm pleased to be joined by Kirk from Cherries Red Army to get all the latest on Bournemouth ahead of our game on Thursday night. Kirk, kick us off, please, with your thoughts on your season so far.
Yeah, thank you very much. Always good to come back and chat. Big game on Thursday, but yeah, it's been a pretty good season now. I mean, it was a slow start. Was going to be under Andoni Iraola. New identity, new philosophy, new vision. But once we got the ball rolling, once the players really adapted to the style and what Andoni was asking, we picked up points. We were fantastic through November and December. Best team in the league. Yeah, look, we've played some hard teams recently in the league, Liverpool and Tottenham. Those are our two losses of late, but we're looking very good. The transfer window, we might need to do something right at the end, but I'm confident we'll be absolutely fine this season. We're going to attack the FA Cup because we should be in no danger of going down. So it'll be an interesting second half. I'm looking forward to it.
And from the outsider looking in, obviously getting rid of Gary O'Neill at the end of the season was a bit of a surprise to us. And, the appointment of the manager, and we played you on the opening day of the season, so we didn't really know what to expect. And truth be told, even after the game, I still didn't know what to expect from you long term. There wasn't too much there, but it was his first game in charge. What have you made of him so far?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of surprise to anyone outside of Bournemouth, but if you ask a lot of Bournemouth fans, not surprised. I mean, Gary O'Neill did what was asked of him, and that was to keep us up. But apart from getting to the 39 points and checking out with 4 games to go, it was quite boring to watch most weeks. But he got the job done. That was all that Bill Foley, the owner, asked of him. And Donny's very different. Bill Foley was looking for a guy that could take the team forward, be more adventurous, have a style press, a bit like De Zerbi. Our owner talks a lot about the Brighton model, and Andoni fits that with where he's come from in Spain. He's only 5 years into his coaching, but he's done some great stuff in La Liga. So we were all optimistic. The European experts were saying you've got a great guy here, someone who's going to be like De Zerbi, maybe reach some really high levels. He's on a 2-year deal, and I'm really excited. As I said, it was a slow start, but the football we're seeing now, we're having lots of shots, lots of attacks. We're dangerous in attack when we're really, really on fire. We're going to get hit at the back. We know that. Most games, there's going to be goals for both teams. But hopefully we can attack you guys this Thursday, because last year it was rubbish. We were terrible. I mean, I know there was a controversial goal in there, but it wasn't great from us. We were poor on the night. So I'm hoping we attack you this time round, and it can be a more exciting game.
How long what size of contract did you say he had?
So he's only on 2 years. My understanding is that Bournemouth wanted him on a 3-year deal. Andoni actually apparently only wanted 1. So we met in the middle on 2. So that's quite an interesting fact there, because Andoni's clearly thinking about his journey, and he can see that this is an avenue into the Premier League. But how long does he want to be at Bournemouth? I'm not sure. You have to see what other doors open. So on a 2-year deal at the moment, I think we need to nail him down for more, but it might be quite hard to do that.
Are you worried then at the potential of him leaving? Not even next summer, even this summer. I know he's still got a year to go in his contract, but the compensation you'd imagine would be affordable, if you like, for clubs that were looking to poach him.
I am worried, but the way we're moving now with the club, Bill Foley, our owner, he's building a new training ground, which will be finished in 2024. That was a vision for our previous owner, and he's delivered on that. There's a new stadium that's in proposal in 2028. The squad has been enhanced since last January. A lot of money's gone in, over 100 million and some. So we're quite keen to try and reach the heights of 10th and do what you've done and go into Europe, whatever Europe it is, and see if we can test ourselves against some European sides. It might be a few years away, but that is the ambition. So if that's the ambition, I think Andoni Iraola will stay, but I don't think he'll go to Liverpool. I mean, I am a little bit worried, but I think there are other sort of managers in contention for that. You could maybe look at Xabi Alonso, and yeah, there's probably names ahead of Andoni Iraola. It's probably a bit too soon, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's being linked with a big club in 3-4 years.
Well, let me just throw you this hypothetical situation, and it purely is a hypothetical situation. But currently, David Moyes' contract expires at the end of the season, right? So if West Ham decided to part ways with him at the end of the season, would you then be worried that West Ham would maybe come in for him?
Maybe. I mean, you like sort of calling us and tapping up our strikers every now and again, don't you? I mean, you're all over Callum Wilson, but he didn't sign for you. And I always hear that West Ham are interested in Dom Solanke, and he's going nowhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham made a call. I don't know. Look, you are a bigger club.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dispute that. You are a bigger club. But we've got an exciting vision at the moment, and the fan base is really buying into it. And Andoni just needs to take his time. I don't think he needs to rush it. I don't think he needs to cut corners. And if he does end up at West Ham or another club like that in time, great. But hopefully it's 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Because I absolutely love the guy. I think he's fantastic. He's just like De Zerbi, and he can take us to some dizzy heights for AFC Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's good. I like hearing fans optimistic about their future. And, you know, when we've covered Bournemouth West Ham games in the past, it's been not necessarily pessimistic from the Bournemouth side of things. It's very short term. It's like, let's just stay in the Premier League. Let's just stay in the Premier League. But this is the first time you're speaking about, you know, you mentioned 2028 there, you know, 4 years away. It's like, hello, we've got something. And it's the first time it feels like there's a long-term ambition and optimism around your football club at the minute, and I think it's refreshing to hear. I've got nothing against Bournemouth. I've got nothing for Bournemouth. I'm very neutral when it comes to your club. I don't want to see you do well, but I don't want to see you struggle either. It doesn't bother me. You do well, great. If you go down, I'm not that bothered, truth be told. But it is nice to hear football fans looking forward to what their club is currently doing, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I'm a little bit envious in some regards to some extent, even though we're going well for different reasons to yourself, I think. So, yeah, interesting.
It is interesting, and just highlighting that fact that every year we've been in the Premier League, and I think we've had 7 seasons now. We had to drop back into the Championship, come back up, but it was always stay in the Premier League. Yeah. And Eddie Howe would always give up the FA Cup. Our priority was staying in the league. This time it's different. We've got to 25 points. We only have to get another 15. I'm comfortable we're going to do that.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
The sides that have come up are not really going to trouble us. So actually, what we can do is get to the 40 points. You know, that's your safety net. You're probably not even going to need that, but you get to that and attack the FA Cup. We've got Leicester City in the next round. You beat them, you're in the quarterfinals. You get a nice draw. Maybe a day out of Wembley. Getting carried away here, but this is what Bournemouth fans want. Can we have a little FA Cup run? Because it's always just been about staying in the league.
Dream away, Kirk. Dream away. If you can dream of winning the FA Cup when you've got, albeit a very good Championship side in form at the minute, but you would suggest that maybe their eyes on another priority. You know, you saying our priority should be the FA Cup. Leicester City's priority isn't the FA Cup. So in some regards, it's an okay draw. You should be allowed to dream. You should be allowed to hope that you can do it. Like you said, you played like Liverpool and Spurs recently, and gave them a bloody good game as well. That's 2 of the better teams in the country that you're going toe to toe with and performing well. And I think your club at the minute is one of the informed teams in the league. Actually, I do fear you ahead of Thursday, truth be told. Now, anyway, that's long term and the short term sorted. What about your current set of players then? We'll talk about the potential ones, but right now, if West Ham fans haven't seen Bournemouth play recently, who should we be looking out for?
And interestingly, as we record this, there's movement already. So David Brooks is on his way out on loan to go to Southampton for the second half of the season. We are looking a little bit like Joe Rothwell's also gone to Southampton as well. So we're helping them out in their promotion push in the Championship. Players to look out for: Dom Solanke. I mean, he's got over 10 goals already. He's an all-round footballer. He's not just a striker, but the criticism of Don is he a number 9? And this season, he stepped up. And guess what? He's having more chances because we've got a coach that's pushing more players forward. We're actually entering the box a lot more, which is what we wanted. And Dom Solanke's knocking the goals away. You've got likes of Semenyo, bullies his way into fullbacks, through fullbacks. He can be a real threat. Tavernier on his day is very, very good with the ball, set pieces. Tavernier, he's a bit hit and miss at the moment, but on his day is a real threat. And if Alex Scott is in this squad on Thursday, he's a talent. I mean, he's the Guernsey Grealish, Guernsey Gaza. And he's had a few injuries since he's come from Bristol City, but he drives the ball forward. He's a dribbler. If we can get him in this side, he could hurt you on Thursday. But he's in and out at the moment. Andoni's just protecting him a little bit. So I'm not sure he will start, but he's going to be a great player and he's going to play for England.
Yeah, I think he's a few players. I speak for myself and the other guy from Hammershack Gonzo. We both really went at West Ham, and I think it was a popular transfer rumour in the summer. You know, I think to some extent I thought we'd maybe go for him, and it was a bit of a disappointment to see him go to Bournemouth almost unchallenged. It felt like nobody really went in for him. You were picking up this really obvious talent from the Championship, and everybody else just stood back and there you go from. Now I can't complain too much because we've gone and signed Kudus, But I don't know. I've seen Scott in the last couple of games and he's coming on, but there's a bit of me now. I think I'm just going to get a bit like Eze. When Eze went to Palace, it has that. Every time I watch him, I get that factor about it.
Again, with Alex Scott, we have to, as Bournemouth fans, enjoy every single minute we get with him because he is not likely to be here for 3, 4, 5 years. We paid 20 to 25 million pounds for him. He'll be double, treble that. I'm telling you now, he's going to be at least 50, 75 million if you want to take him off us. But I think he is going to go to some silly heights. I think he is going to end up at a massive club. He's a real talent, and he's going to be quite special.
Now, as myself and Kirk record this, it's Monday night. For a little bit of context, Blackburn Wrexham kicked off 3 minutes ago. So there's your context. Transfer window is obviously open between now and us playing you. The players need to be signed and registered before midday on Wednesday. Is there anything you're hoping to happen in terms of incomings before the window shuts?
So the club said we wouldn't be that busy in January because we were busy last January to stay up. We were busy in the summer. So we weren't meant to be that busy. But as I've just said, David Brooks is gone on loan. Rothwell's gone on loan. We've got a real problem at right back at the moment. We've got Max Aaron's out. Adam Smith is injured as we currently speak. There's some guy that you might have heard of. I mean, Bournemouth fans don't know much about him. He's called Ryan Fredericks. He's played barely any games for us. So we've got a right problem at right back. And we probably don't need to sign at right back, but we literally don't have a right back. So whether we get something on loan, but again, if you're trying to pull someone in, I mean, you're pulling him in for like 4 or 5 games. You've got to convince a player to come here. But by the way, once we've got all our fullbacks fit, right backs, I mean, 2 really, because Ryan Fredericks has not been fit forever. So that's an area of concern for us. Our left back position, we might need to recruit in 1. And then Roman Favre, which is a player that we signed permanently, but loaned to Lorient. He's apparently heading back, according to Mark McAdam from Sky Sports. He'll be heading back to Bournemouth to end his loan, which will probably replace David Brooks in the squad. So it looks a little bit light. It feels a little bit light to me. So I reckon we'll do something. We're not going to spend silly cash. We've done that for a season and a half. So maybe some really good loan deals. Recruitment team need to be busy.
Right, I've got another question for you, but let's move on to West Ham, and then we'll talk about the game, and then I'll do my boring questions. So if anyone gets fed up, they can disappear, and the hardcore can stick around for the boring question. Right, from your team to my team, what do you think of West Ham?
I think West Ham or West Ham. I mean, look, fair play to you to get your European trophy last year. Absolutely. I mean, obviously, Aaron Moyes was on the cusp of potentially losing his job, and he's picked you up a trophy, regardless of what it is. It's a trophy. It's a European trophy. So well done to you. Big news, obviously, Declan Rice leaving the club to try and enhance his career in the Champions League or whatever he's trying to achieve. So a lot of money there. But I mean, if I'm right in thinking, it's been a bit up and down, but I think you're a solid side. I think you're a solid side. You've talked about some really. I'm afraid the player you just spoke about, I think, was with the African Cup of Nations, and they've been like dropped out, haven't they?
Yeah.
Similar to Semenyo, so he's probably going to be available now. So, in one breath, I was like, oh, I really want Semenyo back, but I didn't want Garner to go out because I knew you'd have your goal threat. So it's a difficult one, but I think you are going to be a threat at home. I think you are going to be dangerous. But I also feel like we can hurt you. I think there'll be goals in this game, different to last year. But you're a good side and you'll be absolutely fine, of course. And yeah, you're doing very well.
2 crystal ball questions. First of all, where do you think West Ham will finish in the league? At the minute, we're 6th in the Premier League. Where do you think we'll go on to end up?
So you are doing very well. 6th in the Premier League. Yeah, I'm not sure you'll finish there.
Neither am I, don't worry.
I mean, 8th, I mean, you're 6th, halfway there. I mean, I'd say if you finish 8th, you should be happy, but that's coming from a Bournemouth fan. So you'd be comfortable, top 10. But I mean, how have you, after winning that competition, has the goalpost moved in regards to ambitions as a West Ham fan?
Not really. I think if we can qualify for European football, it depends which West Ham fan you ask. Some. I did a video a couple of months ago saying I think it would get top 8, and obviously if luck goes our way, and this is why I don't want Bournemouth to win the FA Cup actually, because I need the winner of the FA Cup to be in the top 6 of the Premier League, so that Europa League spot comes into the league. But if everything goes our way in terms of the winner of the Liverpool winning the Carabao Cup, someone winning the FA Cup is in top 6. and the English team's doing well in European football, so the Champions League, 5th place goes to Champions League as well. European football then drops down to 8th. So I said, well, if we get 8th and get European football with a bit of luck, and someone says, oh, that's a bit negative. We should be aiming for 4th. I think, well, I don't think I think we're quite far away from that. I mean, I say that far. We're not loads and loads away, but I don't feel like that should be our ambition or we're good enough to do that. So I think a lot of grievances around David Moyes is to do with the style of play. And that's why when you were speaking earlier,
Gary O'Neill,
and I said I'm a bit envious about it because we've got the results, we just don't have the football, if that makes sense. So you could almost merge how you play with what we do. You'd almost have the dream club to some extent. So it's a hand grenade topic.
Yeah, sort of where I am, and I feel like I'm comfortable in saying a lot of Bournemouth fans, we're not going to win Premier Leagues. We're not going to be getting into Europa Leagues and Champions League yet. So we're going to lose a lot of football matches, but we want to lose in the right way. There was games where we just lost and didn't even register a shot on target. We're now losing at Tottenham 3-1 with 23 shots on goal. And you walk away from that going, okay, you lost at Tottenham. They are a decent side under Ange, but actually we gave them a really good game. And that's what we're looking for. And that's what I want. We're going to hopefully finish 12th, 13th, 14th, maybe have a good cup run. And we've gone toe-to-toe with a lot of football teams. And that's what Andoni Iraola brings.
Yeah, especially like I said, away to Spurs as well. Not many teams go there and say, "Come on, let's go, let's bring it on. Let's go toe-to-toe." Anyway, West Ham players, anyone in particular, Barcadoos, that you admire?
Is Ben Rama fit? He hurt us last season, didn't he?
He's suspended for this one. Don't worry.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Well, we're trying to sell him as well.
He scored the first goal, if I'm right in thinking, in this fixture last season.
Probably the only goal he scored. He didn't score too many
on this, but it's just a kudos one, really. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm still trying to get over. We're just about to record for our FA Cup reaction and our stream, and then we move on to West Ham. So I haven't quite looked into the full details of the preview. So I need to be.
That's all right. Honesty is always the best way.
I must admit, I'm confident that we'll give you a game. I'm not. Yep. You might ask me for my score prediction. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to win. We've won there a couple of times, but I'm not going to say that. I don't think, but I definitely think we'll give you a game. But yeah, I think there's just some fixtures where I've watched you on Sky Sports and I thought, well, West Ham can be got at. Can be got at.
What's your score prediction then?
Okay, I just want us to score this year at your stadium. I think it'll be 2-2. I think there will be goals in this game.
Yeah, I think there's
been a few West Ham games that have been like that.
Well, we drew against Sheffield United 2-2 just before I say break. We had a break because we weren't playing the FA Cup, but it was 2-2 just before then. So we have been scoring recently. We've been conceding as well. We've only just kept a couple of clean sheets that New Year for the first time this season in the league, I think, and that was against Brighton and Arsenal of all teams. That's the two teams we kept out. But then, so there should be goals both ends. I agree with you on that one. Now, my boarding question, Kirk. FFP's got a big thing at the minute. You're talking about your long-term ambitions and stuff, and it's all very good. Now, I don't want to piss on your parade too much, but how much can Bournemouth do because of that FFP thing?
So our owner, who I've mentioned already in this video, Bill Foley, is very, very clever. He's an American businessman. He's got a successful ice hockey team. And my understanding is, this is not my area at all, finances. I like to prefer to stay on the football and tactics, etc. He's got this right because we are spending in the complex. That apparently doesn't affect FFP, and I don't think stadiums do either.
No,
so
they
it's
don't,
mainly down on squad and stuff like that. We did spend a lot of money last year. We have spent some decent money in the summer. So January last year, this summer. But how it's spread, we do have a really good expert actually on Twitter who knows all of this, and he gives us like a lowdown once all this stuff comes out. So we do get a little bit of information. But how they're spreading it, and Bill Foley is building a multi-club model. So he's on board with Lorient, he's on board with Hibernian. And I think that what you can do is also spread financially that way as well. I don't think we'll put ourselves in a situation like Everton. I think we've got this right. I don't think we'll spend a lot of money this January because of that. But we might go big again in the summer. But it's not my area of expertise, and I'm not going to lie. But I trust Bill Foley, and we're not going to be in a situation where we're going to get docked points. And yeah, they've got the right people. They're very clever.
Brilliant. Well, Kirk,
hopefully.
If not, listen, if not, I look forward to you coming on here in a couple of years' time explaining why you're in League Two with Man City. And
that's fine. We love League
Scott's winning the Premier League with West Ham.
We love League Two, League One. It's great.
I suppose. At least you Man City are used to it. A lot of the fans say, it's nothing new to us. But listen, Kirk, thank you very much. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. If you guys at home would like to hear and see more from Kirk, I'll put the link to the social media and, of course, their YouTube channel in the description below. And his latest video will be on your screen in approximately 5 seconds' time. But if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it by clicking thumbs up. Sky News Hammers Chat. I'll catch you in a bit.